Hey, Chad Hymas here. Welcome to this week's Roll with Safety Tip. Welcome back. Thank you all for joining us this week. This tip is very, very personal and dear to me. I wanted to share with you that we had an incident in our family. A relative of ours this past week, their house burned down. Um, Very, very large house, and an act of God. It was lightning. So what could they have done to prevent that? Probably nothing. I'm not. That's not the message. You know, the house burned down, and there were some challenges there. Nobody was injured. The dog lived. Found the dog on the back porch. Here is the challenge with this incident. Um, our relatives, the family, when they left, they didn't tell anybody that they were leaving or going camping, and so um, they were not able to be found, not by cell phone, because they were camping in an area where they didn't have cell service. So they were not reachable. Couldn't touch base with them. Nobody knew where they were at. Parents didn't know where they were at. Siblings didn't know where they were at. Cousins didn't know where they were at. They just took their family and they left for a couple days. Left the dog in the backyard and with plenty of water and food, and their house was hit by lightning and burned to the ground. It's a complete loss. The message is communication. The message is it's always important to let somebody know where you're at. When you're out in the job and in the field, let your colleagues, let your coworkers know where you're at. When you're leaving and going somewhere, I just think it's important that we always are in constant communication. Letting people know where we're at. For myself, I need to have that, because when I get stuck in a car with a flat tire, or if I were to go off the road, I mean, I literally am helpless, and so I travel alone when I'm driving, and I need to have people know where I'm at. So I would just encourage all of you this week, because it's been a hot topic on the forefront of my mind. And when you read that article, talk to your coworkers and your colleagues and spread the word about letting people know where you're at all times and communicating that. Let people know when you're going out to shut off valves, when you're working in the mine. Let people know where you're at underground. Always be in constant communication with your coworkers and your colleagues and your family, to let them know where you are at all times, and so that you can be reached when an emergency happens. I'm not saying an emergency is drastic as your house burning down, but it could be anything where they need to get a hold of you. I think if we'll do that, we won't be in such a panic like we were this past week, trying to locate people to get decisions made, find out what needs to be done with the home. I mean, we were out of luck for a few days, 3. And so with that said, this is Chad Hymas asking each one of you to be safe, roll with safety, and God bless you until we visit again next week.